The following program is dedicated in the memory of Catherine Bull.
The following program is brought to you by Pizza Productions.
The podcast no one listens to, with Kevin Porter. Nice.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of the podcast that no one listens to. Kevin Porter here, back to another week that was. That's what we say. That's the tagline here. It's the unofficial tagline of this podcast is the week that was, dude. I mean, shit, dude. Straight off last week's episode, dude. Man, as you saw at the top of the show there, my sister passed away yesterday, and it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling to know that you have a sibling that's no longer here with you. It's, obviously the first time I've ever had to experience that. I mean, I've definitely have seen, mutual friends, acquaintances, if you want to say that. No, some good friends though. I was able to talk with a good friend of mine. He's been on the podcast before. He lost a brother 20 years ago. You never get over it. It is what it is to a point. It's scary. I don't want to say it is what it is, but I mean, it is what it is at this point, man. I mean, like when you get news like, your sister's on life support, and then like all last week I had to like make decisions on like, what's going to happen, and it's like ultimately the doctors aren't out there to lie to you. They give it to you straight. We try to allow her to fight as long as we could, and she spent like 11 days on a ventilator, basically 11 days on a life support with all intents and purposes. We gave her as long as you could. Again, like we talked about it on the podcast last week. I mean, she didn't want to be, living like that if that's what it came down to. And you got to respect that. And again, she was an organ donor, so we had to go through that process. And, unfortunately, they can't just pull the life support. When it comes to that, you have to run testing. You got to figure out what can be donated. So that extended it out a couple days. And unfortunately, there was no improvements the whole entire time. Again, you always pray for a miracle. You never want to give up. I know we talked about that last week, and that's how we kind of ended it, but at the same time, like you got to face facts at certain points in your life. And unfortunately, with the catastrophic event, that leads you to, your heart stopping, cardiac arrest. I mean, and you're down for that long. It's just, again, the numbers aren't there, man. For every millionth miracle that happens, where you read online, it's like, man. So, having to talk to doctors, nurses, fucking just the endless text messages I've had to deal with, the friends, the family, which again, you don't think of it as a burden. It's just, it is what it is. It's like what you have to do. It's just when you're presented with a situation like that, again, you just have to you got to man up and just deal with it. And by the end of it, like I know there was a lot of tears that were spread in the last couple of days. It's just like, I was able to say goodbye to her in person this last Sunday, and I don't know, I made my peace with it. I mean, not to say that you make peace with it, but I mean, you have to let her go. And I just, like, my anxiety, my blood pressure, everything was probably just like so fucked up last week that like I was like really concerned about my own health. It's like, dude, I got kids that I gotta watch out for. And again, Lord willing, we'll be here for some time, but like it's just like the weight of the world kind of comes down on you, and I had to like really kind of like, there's like one night, I sat there and like, I don't know, maybe in the night I recorded last week. I don't know, dude. It was one of those, I think it actually was that night. Like I've just become an insomniac, which before I was always to be able to like, months past, dude. I'm like always, bed by 10, sleep by 11 or so. But now, dude, it's like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock going to bed every night. I mean, it's a given also. Like, I don't have to get up so freaking early. Thankfully, that I work from home now. So it's like, that's easy. So I'm able to sleep in like a whole hour, hour and a half every morning. So it's like kind of like, I don't got to get up to like 8:30. So it's like, I can stay up till midnight, which isn't a bad thing, but I found myself one night, dude, just like completely like, I guess is what you would describe as a panic attack, but like it was just I felt like I couldn't take a deep breath, which so like I had to like meditate and like I was doing yoga and stuff and like in the middle of the night, I'm just like stretching and just trying to get my body in shape. It's like, all right, so it's like moving forward there. I was like, all right, we got to get back on track, dude. It's like, and everything we always talk about on this podcast, it's like really trying to like, take this negative and turn it into a positive in the sense of like, I just, you got to do the best that you can, dude. And like, so it's like, okay, like no more soda, no more sugar. Just like, we got to get on it, dude. We got to get on a lifestyle change, just like, it was over eye opening for me, just in that sense of this, like this last year, dude, COVID, whatever, dude. I don't know, man, the last like 6, to 9 months, it's just been like, it's just like, basically, I don't know, collectively, we kind of all gave up to a point. I know I did. I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to drink soda whenever the hell I want. At certain points, I was drinking a lot of beer, thank God, like I was able to like curb that addiction. And again, it's like, it's an addiction. I mean, I don't know. Everybody says you drink to drink, you're an alcoholic, whatever, dude. I've never, thank God, man. I've never like had a day in my life to where like, I was like, I have to have a beer right now. It's like, you definitely have moments where like, fuck, it'd be nice to have a beer right now, but it's not like I'm physically addicted to alcohol. I mean, cigarettes, yes, I was definitely physically addicted to that. And I'll even say I'm addicted mentally to fucking pot, dude. It's like, unless I'm in the right mindset, dude, like you can get set off, dude. Like I went through, actually, that was one thing last week is like, I didn't really smoke a lot of weed, dude. I just like every time I put myself there in that mode, it was just like, you felt that anxiety hit. It was like, it's like if I was still drinking, I probably would have been drinking a lot last week. But, again, it's not something I'm doing right now. And like, and again, it was never even a thought, it was like, oh, I need a drink. It's like, yeah, it sucks, but like, I don't need a drink right now. So, addiction's a powerful fucking thing. If there's anything I'm learning, man, it's addiction is a powerful fucking thing. And it's like, even today, had to like go to the hospital and get her belongings because like as I record this, like she passed away last evening, and which apparently is a fairly quick process. They I guess they give you an hour and a half to pass away before an organ donor surgery. Something I learned. I did not know that up until a couple days ago. But she was gone within 26 minutes of life support being removed. And I guess that kind of just tells you everything right there. It's just like, again, she was gone from the beginning and it sucks, and again, I am thankful that I got to say goodbye. I'm thankful that I got to go up there and hold her hand and, say the Lord's Prayer, say Bible verses with her and, let's talk to her like she's there. Allowing family to, zoom in and see her and say goodbye, like, working on all that, it's like, I'm glad I was able to be there and be the one to facilitate all that for families. Cause like right now we're not doing a service. And I think the reason is because we had that week, and there for anybody that would have been there family wise and friends wise, like, they reached out and they were there. And to me, that's, that's what matters, so we're not doing a public service or anything like that. I mean, I basically wrote her obituary on Facebook, like I kind of thought about that in a sense. It's like, like newspapers are, I mean, those are still the way to go, but man, I charge you so much money for that. It's like, I could write as long of an obituary as I want, a memory as I want on Facebook. And I'm friends. Anybody that needs to know will know, like they're going to find out through that, So it's like, why do you even need a newspaper anymore? Newspapers are kind of irrelevant, not relevant anymore. I mean, they are. I still go to the news sites. I still check obituaries and stuff. And, but yeah, I don't know, dude. I'll fill out a death notice, some either tonight or tomorrow on there, but they charge you so much for that shit, dude. They charge you like the whole dyeing process is really expensive. Like when you really look at it, like, it's really expensive. And, shout out my Uncle Steve, I know he doesn't listen to this. I don't even know if family listens to this all, but like, publicly thank him, for, stepping up and offering to take care of the expenses there. And it's not, I mean, you're thankful in those moments. And it's just like a lot of people, like, I don't know, you know who you are if you're watching, like, thankful, like Edwin, Trevor. I know it's like, oh, you guys reached out, man. Jeremy, like people that like, like I just, we're very like attentive, and like, hey man, I'm here for you. So yeah, I don't know, because you don't know necessarily how to react to it. It's like, you're thankful, and you're thankful. And I don't know. I just like I had a lot of friends that I talked to this week, and held me, kept me up, in that sense. Because again, those first couple days were really shocking, dude. By the time I got to this last weekend, it was like pretty much like and mourned when the real like shock of it had kind of like it kind of worn off in that sense. I was able to like again like focus on eating, making sure I'm eating, making sure I'm like drinking as much water as I can, kind of just getting back to old routines, and stuff. And like, all right, gotta take vitamins, gotta make sure we're taking our vitamins every day. Because I don't know, man. I just, like, I don't know, dude. Like, mortality is like a fucking thing, dude. And you gotta realize that we're all gonna die someday. So like, I'm thinking in my head, like, am I gonna end up like this? And it's like, well, it's like lifestyle changes are completely, our lifestyle. It's between the both of us was, night and day in a sense. But you never know what happens. You never know what could happen tomorrow. You never know. That's why you can only, value the day that you have, the moment that you have, dude, because you don't know what's gonna happen a day, 2 days, 10 weeks, 5 years, 6 years, whatever, dude. You never know. So it is what it is in that sense. And I don't even know. Again, like, we just sat down today. I was like, again, like, do I need to even record anything this week? It's like anybody that listened last week is gonna fucking understand. But it's just like, I like to look at this podcast as like rain or shine. It's like, yeah, we took a couple months off this year, which that was the first time in a couple months. And I was actually like, I don't know, most of the time whenever I've ever like thought about taking time off from this stuff, it's like, it's like I was kind of like, you got to keep going, because that's just how I've like always tried to live my life. It's like, no, you got to keep going, like, when it came to anything I apply it to, it's like when we did our TV show, it's just like, it's like there was never really thoughts of like not doing it, because it was just like, no, just keep doing it, like there's nothing wrong with it, keep doing it. And then when it came to like like losing weight and like being healthy, it's like, no, keep doing it. It's like once you get there, and it's like quitting smoking, no, you keep doing it, like you're not giving up. Like same with drinking. It's like, put days in between days in between that last drink or that last cigarette or whatever. It's like, you feel good about that type of shit. It's like, to me, it's like, I don't know, setting goals and accomplishing them. And it's like, I think like, I don't know, dude. I don't know all you guys and how you guys do your thing and stuff, but that's just how I've always been, like it's just always been, trying just to be the best that you can be. It's like, I always like, you just want people to like you, you don't want to be a fucking asshole to people or anything. But at the same time, you don't want to just be straightforward and shit. And I don't know if that really matters. And I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, if it makes sense or anything. But I mean, I guess is like you be the realest person that you can be. You don't try to be a fake person. It's like what you see is what you get. It's like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you about shit. Like I don't know. That's one thing I definitely can't. I don't like is people lying to you about shit. And like that happens every once in a while, and you deal with it when it happens. And I'm not much of a person to like confront people. Like I'll confront you if like I need to or something. But again, it's like whatever, dude. You just try to steer clear of people like that. Surround yourself with good people, and like you put out goodness. And it's like let's say karma or anything, but it's just like that's. I've always kind of believed in that, as I've always believed in, you get what you get what you deserve, you get what you get, you give out bad energy, well, you're going to get bad energy. You put out good energy, you're going to, you don't get, good energy back. And like, it took me a long time to like realize that type of shit, man. Cause like, I remember I was just talking about this with Brandon the other day. It's like, we're talking about like depression and stuff. And it's like, I was telling him, I was like, dude, like I to be truthful, man, I mean, like, yeah, we all get down and stuff and feel bad for ourselves, but like, I don't like, knock on wood, but like I've never really experienced like deep down depression where it's like crippling, you know. I've never experienced that, you know. And anytime I've ever had downtime, you know, it's like you feel bad for yourself for a certain amount of time, but like I've always been able to just like, you know, again, like put my foot forward in front of the next, you know. And it's like whatever, but you know, and you feel bad for anybody that's dealing with, you know, that type of crippling depression, because it's out there, you know, and like people have to deal with that. But the one thing that I've definitely dealt with over the years is like since I was a kid, tell you the truth, man, like is like anger, dude. Like anger is the one like emotion that I have. Like I have a bad temper. I'll put it this way. I used to have a really bad temper, I think. I would just bitch and complain, you know, like especially through my 20s, dude, especially a lot of like with that stupid TV show, you know. Like I was just always mad, you know. It's like I'd see like, you know, you'd see somebody else being successful, and like, you know, now like I'm like, dude, I try to champion the shit out of that, you know, like no matter what, you know. And again, this is all learned behavior, and generally truly wanting to feel that way. You don't like being angry, dude. It's not fun. I mean, I think it's just as bad as being depressed, dude. I mean, you're stuck in it, you know, like you are stuck in it, you know, you just feel like a piece, you're just mad, you know? And so it's again, like, you know, it's just like you want to be here, but you're here and you don't know how to get to here, you know, like, and again, like maybe you won't ever get there, you know. It's like depending on what it is, man. I guess like, you know, I just had to learn over the years with that shit. It's just like you just got to do it for the fun. You're not doing it to like get famous. You're not doing it to make money. I mean, if you can't, you know, appreciate it for what it is, then, you know, fucking, you know, it's not even worth it then at that point, you know. It's the same thing with comedy, you know. But then again, with the stand-up comedy, I was always mad at myself. But like, again, like I just never did the fucking work. It really wasn't until this year everything fucking clicked for comedy, dude. And it's like, especially the last couple years, like the last like 3 to 4 years, dude, just like listening to comedy all the fucking time, dude. And like really, like for the first time getting into it, dude. Cause like, it's not like I can be like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, like I fucking listened to, you know, I was always into stand-up comedy. It's like I was never into stand-up comedy as a kid, dude. It really wasn't until I was like in my 20s and like Aaron Bennett's like, hey, let's go do stand-up comedy. I'm like, oh, what's stand-up comedy? It was like tell jokes. I'm like, I just like being in front of people. Like, yeah, I'll do that. And then like, you know, you put some, you know, shitty jokes together, which you know would sum up a lot. Most of my jokes, everybody's jokes when they start out suck, but you know, you get better at it. And again, like it really wasn't until this year when I just like, you know, I was like, it clicked in the sense of like, I really want this. I'm sick and tired of people just thinking I suck, you know, and I want to get better at this. And like, so it's again, like to me, it was like, okay, right, you know, and practice, you know, memorize the fucking beats, and then go out there and have fun with it, you know, because like, you know, that's just, you know, again, that's just kind of where it was, you know, practice, you know, write and practice and perform. And that's like really the three things that were like on my head, you know. And then just like COVID just took all that away. It's like, if it ever comes back, yeah, I'm definitely gonna, you know, apply the same principles moving forward, dude. Because I think like, if anything, this podcast allows me to stay sharp in the sense of like, you know, trying to be on top of stuff. Which I think that's one thing I've gotten better in terms of like, you know, just coming up with shit off the top of my head. Like I've always felt like I'm like okay at it, but like this year I don't know. I felt like I can feel like a cognitive like change in that sense of like just being like a boom boom. And it's like not all the time, obviously, but I feel like I don't know. I've gotten a lot better at it, and you know, I think yeah, it's definitely important to like, you know, point out the times like when you are getting better, you know. But yeah, man. And again, I don't know. Dude, I just like when I was younger, dude. Like I don't know, like I hated my fucking jobs, you know. You know, I was always bitching and complaining to Jessica about something or the other, and it's like finally, you know, like I don't know. I think like 2009, I'd say even going into 2011, 12ish, you know, like, you know, that's kind of when everything started to change, you know, with, I'd say, yeah, about 2011, 2012. That's around the time it started to change, just because Jessica's basically like, you know, like, I'm done with it. You know, you got to put up or shut up. Like, you can't be sitting here fucking angry all the time. It's like, if you fucking hate it so much, stop doing it. It's like, well, I don't want to stop doing the TV show. It's like, well, then shut the fuck up and start enjoying it, you know? And so slowly but surely, dude, I just like, I don't know. I just started like looking into like, you know, like positive mindsets and stuff, and like, you know, watching YouTube videos on that shit, and just like really finding, you know, specific people to kind of just, you know, you know, learn from, and like, you know, take things from everyone, you know, and just try to apply to your own life and stuff. And it was like around that time, it's like really when I started getting like serious about quitting smoking within those, you know, couple years afterwards, like, all right, I got to quit smoking now, and like got to quit drinking, and like got to quit eating all this shit. Gotta stop being angry all the fucking time, dude. Like, you know, again, like everything just kind of clicked, dude. And like, again, I was able to like start to value the positive mental attitude, PMA and shit, and like really embrace that. And again, that's again that I didn't even think about that until like a week or so ago. It feels like I've always been like that, but like really when you think about it, it's like, nah, dude, like bro, like I was an angry teenager probably too. I was an angry, like I just, in general, dude, I was an angry fucking person. I thought like I should be at a higher level than I fucking was at all points. And it's like, honestly, when you break it down, it's like when you look at that shit, it's like, well, what's the reason you weren't at a higher level? It's because, well, maybe you weren't working hard enough at it. It's like the TV show. It's like, we always said, oh, yeah, it's funny, it's this and that. It's like, maybe I could have worked harder on that. And, I probably could have, but it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up over it. I mean, we fucking did the show. It is what it is. And now we do this podcast. And again, it's not like, this is going to make me $1 million or anything, or like it makes me any money at that, but I've definitely just learned that, when it comes to entertaining people, I just like doing that, in general, I like the process. I like getting in front of people, like, like making a movie. There's a process there, dude. It's like, just I enjoy that process, and it's just something I don't think I'll ever give up, at this point. But again, I have no idea where the fuck any of this shit goes. I have no idea if this podcast even makes fucking sense. Just putting it out there to get it out there and stuff. Again, like I had no idea if we were gonna even do this episode, but again, the show must go on, as they say. I know it takes you like 30 minutes to sit in front of a fucking camera and just talk, and like it's like 2 weeks from now, I'm not even gonna remember any of this shit. It's like it is what it is. So it's like that's the new saying. It's like the podcast that no one listens to. It is what it is. It's like, is it good or bad? I don't know. Probably a little bit of both. So, oh no, man. Definitely today. I mean, the day after with her passing, it's like I slept in as late as I could. I was like, well, someone's gonna call me today. Because like, I mean, you don't really do a lot when somebody passes away. I mean, like especially with her being in the hospital, it's like, they handle the body. They basically, the only thing they confirm with you is what funeral home you want to go to. So you got to call around and figure out what funeral home, which again, my uncle like was able to step up and like help me out with that. So I appreciate that. So we made that decision yesterday, like, cause again, with knowing that they were pulling her off life support. So we made that decision yesterday. And from there, he's going to speak with him in that sense. I do got to go fill out a bunch of paperwork. It's like that stupid fucking mute button. I've been utilizing it a lot more, even though I know it makes that audible fucking clicking sound. It's like, whatever, dude. That's what it's there for. I'm sure you'd rather hear click than me hear, like coughing up a fucking lung or something. But yeah, so like today I was just like, fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna sleep in as late as I can and just fucking catch up on rest, dude, and get my body back to like, reality at this time, dude. I feel like just concentrate. I need to concentrate on something, I need to like set a goal out in front of me. And right now it's like, okay, we know we've been putting off everything. It's like, dude, even weeks before all this shit, it's like when I had to go to the doctor, a couple weeks ago, for all that, ultrasound shit, even then I was like, all right, once all this is over, we're getting back at it. We're hitting it up, dude. We're in town now. We have no excuses. Like just fucking start concentrating better. And it's like, now that I work at home, it's like now I'm not like, I'm not like tempted to like eat out, and like get cheeseburgers every fucking day. And it's like, that was a bad thing. I was like thinking about it. I was like, man, when's the last time I was actually like legitimately hungry? It's like a lot of times like this last couple months has been like eating just to eat. And that's not good, dude. Like you should definitely feel hunger every once in a while. I think that's important to be hungry. And so this week I was able to really concentrate and get back into like a focused diet and just like, again, not overeating, at all, again, keeping it simple, eating fruit, some oatmeal, some yogurt, during the day, and then eat, dinner, whatever we have for dinner. And like, now we're starting to like, we are trying to like be more conscious in terms of like cooking at home and not eating out. And again, just like, getting vegetables, meat, whatever else. And, again, just eating whatever is for dinner and then not snacking the rest of the night. I guess that's like the big thing is like eating candy and like, soda and like all that shit. So it's just like water, a little bit of coffee. I'll drink some tea and that's it, dude. So like, so far so good. Like I said, I was out and about today and like my head was like, you've been through a lot, Kevin. You should go to Arby's. Go to fucking Arby's today and get a fucking slider and some like curly fries and a soda. But no, I was like, no, I was like, even though I should eat some oatmeal, when I get home and like an apple or something and a little bit of yogurt, like, I should like, I should, the most important thing right now is like just eat at home. So it's like I'd bought, going to the store this week and like got turkey meat and like some sandwich making and some stuff and some soups and stuff just for lunches for the kids and stuff. And like, I was like, if you're going to splurge, dude, have a turkey sandwich, right? It's at home. You need to like focus. Like right now, I'm like really trying to like change, like, like flip the fucking switch in terms of like, saving money and just like, concentrating on just being a better person in that sense too. Cause like my whole life, it's like, it's like, oh, you get money. It's like, oh, let's go buy something. Let's go buy a movie. Let's go buy some comic books. Let's go buy an action figure. Let's go buy weed. Let's go buy beer. Let's go buy cigarettes, like whatever. But like for the first time, like I really feel like I'm trying to like, okay, like I have to be more disciplined in this stuff. And especially a lot of it's just with the, moving back and like the expenses of the house and stuff. And it's like, definitely a lot more money's going to that now. And it's just like, okay, well, and it's like, I don't know, I felt pretty good. Like, I'm like, all right, well, that's why I said that fucking, thing a couple weeks ago about like trying to like pick out movies and just like focusing like on the movies that we have and stuff. And because again, like, we're talking about addiction on this episode. It's like, you do kind of get addicted to shopping. I mean, that's totally something like people can get addicted to, is like going out and buying stuff because it's fun to buy stuff. But like really, when you break it down, dude, it's like, does any of this stuff ever matter? It's like, no. You're like, you buy something and like it's cool for a little bit, and then like, a couple days later, let's buy another thing or something. Like, it's not like I was spending a shit ton of money or anything, but I mean, you buy stuff off Amazon, you go to Goodwill, you go thrift shopping and stuff, and like, so I don't know, dude. I'm just trying to be a better person, moving forward, dude. Again, this year it's just been a real fucking, shit show in terms of just like, just letting go of like your daily habits and like just letting go in life and like not necessarily giving up, dude, but it's just like, fuck, like everything around you is like, feels like shit. So it's just like, well, fuck it, dude. All I'm going to do is just like chill, and, I don't know. It's not good to be like that. And especially going into the new year, you only got like a couple weeks left. I mean, Christmas is like next fucking Friday or whatever, like a week away from Christmas, which I guess actually kind of thinking about that now. I guess we are going to have a Christmas episode, right? Fuck, I didn't even think about that. I don't even know what to do, man. We never acknowledge holidays on this fucking shit, dude. It's like, I don't fucking care about that stuff. Like, fuck holidays. Holidays are fucking stupid. It's again, we talk about, capital, not capitalism, but consumerism, and just like, want. That's all like our society's built off of. And it's kind of sad when you really kind of step back and think about it. It's like, that's all we're driven to do is like work to buy. It's like, yeah, you need food. You need to make sure your essentials are taken care of. But outside of that, dude, it's just like, I don't know. I need to be a better person, like spending and just like dieting and just like not dieting necessarily, but just like eating, when you're hungry and like just eating for nourishment, and not like eating a bunch of like sugar. Like sugar is like the worst, dude. Like, fuck, quitting smoking was hard as fuck, but damn, quitting sugar is like just as hard. It's like right now I have a latte. It's like today it was like the one splurge. Like went and got a latte. And I thought about it after I got, I was like, that's like fucking 500 calories or some shit, dude. I don't even know. It's like at least like 200 or 300 calories or something in there. I don't know, dude. It's just, I don't know. Again, like I don't fucking care right now. It's just like, this fucking episode is what it is, dude. I know I was like, man, I need a drop. I know, dude. We got cool episodes coming out. It's like starting to get back to normal and on that. And I haven't recorded an actual legit podcast for at least like fucking 2 to 3 weeks. It feels like since I've talked to anybody. Oh, well, no, I take that back. Was that last week? It's last week. No, it's 2 weeks ago. I did that. Okay, so 2 weeks this weekend. It was with Dustin. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Okay, but yeah, no, we got guests coming up, dude. I've hit up a shit ton of people over the last couple of months that are just kind of waiting in the wings. That I just got to hit them up and give them a time. I just got to hit them up and give them a time for the podcast and shit, and then we'll get it and make it happen. So I gotta get concentrated, dude. Again, fucking trying to get back into working out and shit, lifting weights. Get on the elliptical, dude. Like I swear to God, like after all that anxiety and shit, like I spent like, I don't know, 10 minutes between, I've been doing like 10-minute increments, just kind of like, so I don't want to blow myself up or anything. I don't want to like hurt myself or anything. So I'm just like, I'm doing small little increments. All right, get down, do like, 20, 30 push-ups throughout the day and fucking lift up, lift some, weights and stuff, do some squats. And then, doing 10 minutes on the elliptical. And by the end of it, you're feeling pretty good. If you keep going, like if you, by, between 10 to 15 minutes, that's when you start sweating and shit, at least for me. And, I definitely want to build it up and I want to like get back to, cause I was at an hour, dude, at my peak, dude, in the last couple of years, dude. It was like in January, I was still I could still do an hour now. I could just get up there and do a fucking hour. I'll be fine. But again, like I've really like learned over the years that like you really can't just like push yourself to the limit, dude. You don't want to do that right off the bat, dude. Especially given like my body's been out of it for months at this point. So it's just like again, like let's not fucking hurt ourselves. Let's just ease our way back into it. So again, but like what I was trying to say is like that first day of doing like 10 minutes, I took that deep breath and I could feel the full deep breath. It's like, oh, thank God. Like, oh, I can feel it right now, dude. And so it's like, I don't know. It's like, a lot of that anxiety is gone. The stress is winding down, so it's just like, all right, like, let's get back into, some normalcy, it's like, again, the healing has to start now. And so, it is what it is, man. But again, that's life, dude. That's fucking life, dude. Podcast no one listens to, dude. Fucking A. Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode. It's like, are we already at the end? It's like, yeah, dude. We totally are, man. Yeah, I don't know, like anybody on our that's subscribed to our feed, our audio only feed, I should say, if you're subscribed to us on any of the major apps that are out there. Which, dude, I don't know, dude. I think like I checked our iHeartRadio account. I think it stopped playing like up, like I don't know. There's a glitch in there, something, dude. It's like a year or something. It hasn't like updated. And it's like, I don't know. I'm sorry if you listened to us on iHeartRadio and we fucked up and like it's like it hasn't updated. It's like that podcast just stopped it. I thought you guys were done like over a year ago, and it's like, no, dude. Fuck iHeartRadio. So, but yeah, I mean, definitely we're on Spotify, iTunes, fucking Stitcher. I mean, those are like the three main ones, right? Like, I mean, there's some like other ones that what's it like? Oh, dude, like aggro. It's like aggro, bro, gone aggro, whatever aggregates the podcast to like other shit. Like sometimes you'll search our podcast. I've gone out there and done that, and it yeah, you just find some like weird shit. It's like I don't remember ever setting this up, dude. It's the fucking coffee, dude. I haven't been drinking a lot of water today. I drank like one huge thing of water, and outside that, I've been having coffee the last like hour or so. That's why my throat's all fucking scratchy as shit, dude. So, yeah. But if you're paying attention to the audio only, you'll see that there's a brand. We actually dropped a brand new podcast on our airwaves this week. It's called Smoking in the Boys Room. Me and Jay McNay, dude. So like every single week, dude, obviously you have the Are You Ready, a professional wrestling podcast, which you can subscribe to separately on those same accounts. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe if you're a fan of professional wrestling. But even if you're not, dude, like me and him just bullshit, dude. But like a lot of times, dude, like I don't know, like we just I don't know, we just catch up and just bullshit, dude. Because I don't know, like I consider Jay like a really good friend, man. Like we have a lot of fun things to talk about and shit, dude. We're like-minded people, I think. And so with that being said, like we just this last week, because a couple weeks ago, I was like, why don't we ever just record like the hour-long conversation we had before we record? Like why don't we do that? It's like, yeah, So we recorded this last week, and yeah, man, it was funny because I was telling Jay, I was like, yeah, Jay, I'm just gonna release the just the audio, dude. Just post it up, whatever. But then like I get into the evening and stuff before I'm gonna post. I was like, nah, fuck it, dude. Let's jazz it up a little bit. So you put an intro, you get a little bit of an intro song, you get like a new outro song on that podcast. Again, it's a brand new podcast, dude. So it's all to its own. So again, I'm not gonna drop it on its own separate feed, but it can definitely be a companion piece here on the podcast that no one listens to feed. So if you are subscribed, you're totally gonna get that. But yeah, man, we're on fucking YouTube and shit too, dude. So I don't know, dude. If you can, dude, subscribe to us on fucking YouTube. That'd be fucking badass. It'd be cool to start doing more shit. Like now that I'm home, like I have all these ideas. I had all these ideas over the summer of like once I was home that like what I could start doing. I still want to fucking do those, dude. Like I want to do a lot more video projects and stuff. Because I really love editing, dude. And I really love filming. And I just, again, I just need to, again, a lot of it's like stuff I can do on my own or like with the help of like one person. Because like I think that's like right now. It's like over the years, doing the TV show and everything is like, you had a lot of people. Like we got it down to a really small skeleton crew, like between 4 or 5 of us. But and that's cool, but like I don't know, I just don't like asking people for help, dude. So like if I can do it on my own, then I can do it on my own. It's cool as fuck to have people help you and stuff, but I don't know. So it's just one of those things like, I have a green screen. It's like why aren't we doing more videos and shit, dude? So it's like I don't want to do that. I know we talked about that one. Doing like the radio show podcast or whatever, and that's definitely something I want to concentrate on. So I mean, like moving forward in life, dude, we got a lot of cool little projects to start working on. And, again, like, if anything, we just need to, continue to work as hard as we can, dude. Again, mind, body, and soul, dude, just really focusing on just being the best person that we can be on life. I think that's important for everybody. I think that's, especially after 2020, dude, I think that's something we need to strive for. I mean, we may not be able to control what's going on with the government and everything, all these, like, mandates and all this shit, but, like, at the same time, dude, we can control our own bubble and, make sure our mind is right and make sure that, we are right within this world. So, all right, let's jump in. That being said, dude, I'm Kevin Porter. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace. Oh, yeah.
This podcast has been brought to you by Pizon Productions.